true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, up, up. You'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes. You'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Thursday night, so we're on to large project night. Got in a few seconds early, well, a few minutes late, I guess, not early. I had everything ready to go like I normally do, but Facebook had decided to change up the way they do things again, and my stream key had changed, so I went to start it, and it was like, you don't have the proper keys. It's not finding you, etc. So I had to run through real quick and get that set up, so we're finally here. Like I said, a minute or two late, not too bad with the issue, but getting out some more rings here. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Thursday, having a good week up till now. Good to see you here if you show up live or if you watch it later. It's nice to have you. So, got that out. Everything kind of got a little weird when I went to click that and couldn't open it. And now let's roll this on out so we can get started back on it. Don't have too much more to do. I didn't get anything done on it since last Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finishing up the fifth one, and then we'll start on the sixth. So we're getting closer. I could have had this done by now if I had more time to work on it. But since it's not an order, it has been kind of pushed to the back side as I work on orders and other things first. So hopefully it'll be done so I can get started on the next large inlay. But yeah, I don't know, it's like every time I log in, I should have kind of looked closer at the Facebook when I started it up. 2, 4, 6, 8. When I loaded it up, it was different again than it was yesterday. They like to change that up every couple weeks, it seems like. And I was like, well, this is a different way of starting up the stream, but okay, we'll go through the steps. And did that, but the last times they changed it, I didn't actually have a change in my stream key that I need to use. So that kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. So hopefully I don't have that problem again, or hopefully I don't have to actually start using a different stream key every time I go in. So if I do, I'll have to remember to start setting that up every time. What a pain. That's really gotta suck if you're using one of the restreamer type places where you send your stream to one and it multiplies it out. I manually load mine up to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch streams. In a way, it's a little bit of a pain, but I can't imagine what it'd be like with Facebook always changing your stream key up. But we're here nonetheless. We made it. So we'll just continue working on this, and really hope I can get some more done on it this weekend. I've still got a lot of other things going on too, so it does get put on the back burner, but that's what's good about doing the streams. It does give me at least a day that I can get some time in on it. Kind of like the Jelly Cube, I was hoping to get more time in on it from here, and at times here and there, but really haven't had much time to really put anything into it either. I mean, it's grown, but I haven't done anything on it in probably at least a week and a half now. And when I do, even before that, sometimes it was only like half an hour a day or something, but it was still a little bit, Half hours add up after time. So, and you might have just heard, you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Hopefully, if you have any of those accounts, go over there and sign up, give us likes and follows and all that. We're still one follower away from reaching 300 on our Facebook page. So we're looking for that one more follower. Well, we can use a lot more, but one more to get to 300 so we can do a giveaway. We're going to have a night that we do a live stream giveaway. So I'm hoping we can get that one more follower. So if you are watching us later or anything like that, share us out there. You know, let's get that one more follower so we can do that. And then we'll start shooting for the 500. That might take a little while, but I'm hoping we'll actually pick up a little bit of extra here pretty soon with some of the new things I'm getting ready to release and put out there. Got a couple more tutorials I'm going to go out there. I'm going to have some more kits going. So I hope to get the rest of my products that I currently have that I haven't posted to my website yet. Get those out there. Hopefully that'll bring more people. We can get up to 500, start expanding some more stuff. I want to start doing some custom laser etch scales and things like that. Like I said, a couple more tutorials. We've updated. I haven't released it out there yet, but I have updated the chain ends tutorial with the help of another fellow chainmailer. She's been helping me edit and finding most of my mistakes on spelling. I don't use a normal program that will spell check when I type for doing my tutorial. I'm going to look at changing up the program that I use to do my tutorials, and it seems a little odd, but I do use a photo program to do my tutorials, but that's more so that my pictures look good. I want to make sure sometimes when you pull pictures into other programs, you know, like Word and stuff like that, the pictures get a little funky, and I want to have good pictures on the tutorial. So I have been doing it that way, but I am looking at changing that up. Hopefully, now it has been years since I've pulled pictures into those type programs, so maybe they're better than they used to be years and years ago. That will help with my spelling errors. Normally, I'm not the greatest speller to begin with, I will admit, but when I start typing out and I'm just sitting there just going, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'll miss words that are just simple. Sometimes I add an extra one of the keystrokes to one of the letters, or I'll transpose a couple letters. Instead of putting from, I put form a lot. But I think it's just the way my fingers work. But she's helped go through and get that done and fixing that up for me, and it's pretty much ready. We're just kind of waiting to get it put out there. If you purchased it in the past, you can. I would be emailing it to people that have gotten it in the past through email. If you bought it through the website, you'll be able to just go to your account on our website and re-download it. It'll be version 4. First version was pretty awful, really. And then feedback from other mailers that had gotten it, asking questions here and there. I put out a few quick updates to fix that, and in this latest version we've actually added a few more pictures, a little more descriptions and on how to do certain things in certain areas, so hopefully it'll be a little bit better for you. But like I said, I've also got a couple more that I'm putting out. One will be a free one, and I plan on doing some more free ones with some of the basic open source weaves that have been around for a while, just in case you're an extremely new mailer. I'm going to put out some free ones that way, and I've talked about it before. I plan on doing some video tutorials for some of those basic weaves. I've just got to get my full setup done that I want for the camera, so you can get a close shot of everything, and hope everything works that way. I'm still kind of testing those waters, but I do plan on doing that at some point too. So, but then I also got some kits. I'm going to do some basic kits for some of those open weaves. Just so you don't have to go out and buy large amounts of material per se. Because if you want a colored bracelet or necklace or something like that, and you want a couple different colors, you got to buy a lot of extra material, which is okay in a way. I mean, it gives you more that you can actually do more mail. But if you're looking at just doing certain things and you don't want to have a lot of extra rings laying around, kits are normally the way to go. They can run a little bit more than just buying the rings by themselves, but you know, that's kind of the nature of it. So I plan on doing that too. I've got all my 3D printing up for my tag dice. I will be getting that tutorial finished up too here soon, and I'll have kits for that also. So that'll be kind of nice to see. I've been wanting to do that for years, but I was having issues trying to find the right inserts, and that's when I just decided, alright, this is just becoming too much of a headache to find the right inserts for them, to make them work well. I'll just print up my own. One of the other things a 3D printer can be good for. So, got all those done, minor cleanups to do, then I got this weekend will probably be another picture shoot weekend. For the most part, because I've got pictures of things that I have lost in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I go one too many on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. You kidding me? I guess that's what happens when I get rammering and jammering on talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I sure did. I don't believe that. That means I gotta remove that whole row. I cannot believe I did that. I don't know why I didn't check earlier. Again, I guess it's just from all the talking, so... Well, I guess part of the stream tonight is going to be deconstruction. That kind of blows. I guess when I start here, well, come on, get out of there. Finding all my closures are going to be part of the problem. I hate trying to find them sometimes. It can be a pain. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I could have swore I counted earlier, but I just start getting going and off I go. But that's part of chainmail. I have done that kind of thing before, not such... I mean, I have taken apart more before because of not necessarily a screw up, but during testing purposes of trying something new or whatnot. But for a piece like this, I just can't believe I did that. All that wasted time. Because it almost takes longer to get it apart than put it together trying to find your closures. Especially when it's further away like this. But I am on the other camera view. If we were on the top view, you'd probably see my head coming into play a lot here. Double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. That whole row, I cannot believe I did that. I thought it was looking big, but I just thought it was the stretch. I mean, you get less of a stretch on European 6-in-1 like this, but yeah, I can't believe I actually did that without catching it before the whole row was done. So, deconstruction we go. One thing I don't like about doing on the stream is taking stuff apart. I'd rather just keep building, but I mean, I have a few times had to do a few take aparts, so just not on such a massive scale. Well, I wouldn't say massive, but a whole row. Let's see, what is it? These are 9 times 8, so 72 rings that got to come out and get replaced. So it's about like doing 2 rows by the time you're done, since you had to take one out and put it back in. I know you're here somewhere, closure. Where are you at? There you are. So, yeah, I'm just still kind of miffed at myself for that one. I can't believe I did that. Maybe to start off a row for just a few, and then I realized, but to do a whole row like that and not count, That was a bad me. A bad me, a bad booga. But, like I said, things happen. And I find myself doing more little screw-ups like this whenever I'm doing streams than when I'm not doing streams, just because when I am streaming, I do have to kind of pay attention to everything else that's going on. Okay, that's a weird thing to see. A new user on Twitch, but it's called host. So, host with numbers. Could be somebody just has that name, but if you are a normal person, welcome over to the Twitch world. Thank you for joining us over there. Anybody can go join us there. If you have a Twitch account or YouTube account, go give us follows on those. Push that out there again. Can never have too many, right? Alright. Guess we'll try to make little piles. I guess it won't matter. I can recount, but obviously I have a problem counting. I was all ready to change my colors on when we finished up that row just now. I was like, oh, on to the next one, where I should have already been on the next one. Yeah, it was just I guess this whole day has just been a crazy kind of day like that. Just odd, weird things happening. Right before I started the stream, I was coming over here to sit down to get the laptop ready, and I had everything moved over and set up, so all I had to do was kind of go start after the Facebook fiasco. But we have a couple outdoor cats and indoor cats, and somehow or another, one of the upstairs outdoor cats indoor cats had gotten out, and I'm imagining it was probably about 30 minutes before that she'd gotten out. So she showed up at the back door here. I heard the cats meowing, and I was like, well, that's an unusual meow for them. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary per se, but it was the meow that, you know, makes me go, huh, what are they talking about? Because it's slightly different. Buzzard was giving me the meow, and I was like, why are you meowing a little weird? You don't have anything, you're not chasing anything. And I had to look over at the door, and as soon as I did, I heard the other meow, and I was like, that's Sugar Baby. That's the cat upstairs meow. I shouldn't be hearing that downstairs. At least not that loud. On the other side of the door, sometimes she'll meow, but nothing like that. And yeah, sure enough, she comes walking in the basement door. I guess it's kind of good that it was decent out enough that I had the door kind of propped open so they could come in and out. But she comes walking in like, hey. And she's our old cat. She's about 18 years old, so she come walking in like, yeah, I was outside. How you like those nuggets? She tried getting out on me about an hour and a half ago. I was telling you last night that I had replaced the back of the house floodlight fixture, and I didn't have any light bulbs going in it, so I got the light bulbs today, and so I was out there putting those in, and she wanted to go outside, and I was like, nope, and stopped her and put her in, and she was all mad at me. But she found her way out, eventually, obviously. Just glad she came around back, and we got dogs all around us, so she got in without any harm, I guess. Other than being a pain. She's always been a pain, though. She's been not a problem cat, but she has her own attitude. She's one of those cats that she doesn't like to be pet too often, but she wants the loving, but only from certain people. I'm not one of those people, which is highly unusual because I very seldom find a cat that doesn't like me. But she's just always had an attitude. The only time she really lets me play with her, if I don't know, I call it blanket loving. I'll when she gets up on the bed, if I put my hand under the blanket and love on her, she's perfectly fine. But if I touch her with nothing on my hands, it just sets her off. but she wants me to play with her at times. And I mean, I'm the one that feeds her and gives her soft food all the time. So, but she's always been like that ever since we brought her in. It was actually one of the wife's family members who had the cat, and she was kind of like that as a kitten too, and they couldn't deal with her, and so we brought her in. You know, she had her issues, but you know, I'm willing to put up with those to give her, you know, the best life she can. I'm an animal kind of guy, so doesn't really matter what kind of animal. I like all animals. I've had dogs in the past, but you know, right now we're in cat mode. We've had more cats. Be nice to your baby. Yeah, that's her baby cat. You know, she's an old pain in the butt. Still love her, but she's not like the other cats, that's for sure. So yeah, if you're joining us now, you'll see that we're deconstructing a row of this, since I screwed up and put in an extra row. So hopefully we can start to get back to building here in a few. Well, it is Thursday. I should have shared it to my own page, but I've been trying, in a way. I don't want to share it too much to my own page because I'm not a big Facebook user. Well, I use Facebook often, but on my personal pages, you know, I don't just put in the random mulings of the day. Sometimes I will, but I try to split it up. So there for a while, the only thing that I was having on my own personal page was my chainmail stuff, but that's pretty much all I've been doing lately, so not really much else to put on there. It's like, what are you doing? Well, chainmail. What are you doing today? Chainmail. What are you doing today? Chainmail. That's all you do. Well, yeah. It's the business, so that's what I do. Like other people who go to work, that's their job. This is kind of my job. She knows who she is and what she wants. Well, yeah. If you want to say that, I guess that can be true. Oh, that was a nice closure right there, ready for me. That was nice. I have to search for it. I thought that was it, but I guess not. Where you at? Oh, you flipped on me a little. There you are. Oh, boy, what fun. I'll spend the first half an hour deconstructing instead of constructing. I'm already on to the next camera view already. Camera view 3. You basically haven't done anything. 3 steps forward, 18 back. Come on. Must have just missed it before. I'm kind of looking to see. I got different light bulbs this time, so for the outside, I'm kind of wondering how bright they're going to be, and if they're going to. I think they're going to be more on the white side, but I'm not sure yet. I don't remember what I had last time. I was trying to find something similar, but I ended up going with the LED lights this time instead. You can still get, you know, different colored in the LED lights, but they're more expensive, but they last longer. So the rest of the house, other than the outdoor lights, had switched over to LED. So figured, might as well just go ahead and get LED for outside. Let's see how it works. Oh, come on, where you at? There you are. What happened? Too many rows? Toes. Yeah, I put in, I finished up row 8 when we started tonight going, and as soon as I got there, I was looking at it going, man, it looks bigger than the squares before, so I counted them out. And so I started at the end of last week. Yeah, I must have just put in an extra row, not counting, just kind of jibber-jabbering and wasn't paying attention, so out a row it goes. It's like there's really no way to compensate for that other than remove them all. Wish I would have noticed it beforehand. I probably would have worked on it earlier today, but really didn't get much done over here today on the chainmail. I was finishing up all my 3D printing stuff that I wanted to do and cleaning those up, and kind of wanted to get that fully finished so I can get pictures this weekend, since I heard it's going to be a picture weekend. Trying to get some of these other things that I haven't gotten pictures of, some of the pictures that I did lose out of the hard drive failure a while back, and I still haven't retaken pictures of the stuff that I still had from of that. So it's going to be, hopefully, I wish I could get a better setup inside to do pictures. Thought I had it in a way, but I just could not get good pictures out of that setup I had going. Just always seem to get better pictures when I'm outside, letting nature do the lighting, and then you just get cooler pictures kind of outside more. Rocks, wood. Well, I will say though, my youngest, when she was doing pictures for me, she could rock doing inside pictures. Now it took her a while to do setups and all that, which was, all fine with me. I'm sure it sucked for her, but she would get me some good pictures inside. Kind of miss that. I've been doing pretty decent with my tutorial pictures though. I've kind of got to slowly working better and better on those. Alright. Almost done. What is it, 72 of these we've got to remove. I don't feel like I got nothing accomplished during my stream tonight. Oh, grab a drink here. Half an hour in. Because I think we put in 16 or 18. 9 or 18 when we first started, when I realized I was going to have to go back through and fix them. Hopefully I don't do that again before we get done with this. Oh, let go. Let me have it. But that is part of doing streams. You just never know what's going to happen. If I was just doing video of it and stuff, I could have, outside of doing the video, taken care of it, and then come back and start videoing where I should have been and start back off correctly. But that's what happens when you're doing live. You never know what will happen. Cat bites, stream issues, internet issues. I haven't had those in a few days, other than we've had it happen last actually couple nights around midnight, every night here. Not every night, but about every other night it seems like, around right at midnight too. It's very strange. I don't know if it's the service providers that are doing it, but right at midnight, boy, we'll lose connection, and normally it's been out for about a half hour each time before it finally kicks back in. Alrighty, so now we can kind of start back over here, I guess. Putting in the proper change of color rings. What we should have been doing before. We will now start again. Now I got open rings. I guess it'll go a little bit quicker. Other than now, each one of these rings I've touched, 1, put them in, 2, take them out, 3 to put them back in, 3 times instead of once. 1, 2, 3. Well, and then I guess I'm using my fingers to put them through instead of having them just hooked into my pliers already. I guess I could still do that, just gonna have to Take a little extra time to grab it the other way. I know a lot of people can pick them up with their pliers, but I don't get them right where I want. If I did, I'd spend longer fiddling trying to just grab it with my plier, and then I still got to grab it with this hand to get it right where I want in the plier, so. Now we're back to mailing. And I hopefully left them in my little groups of 9, so shouldn't have any problem with that. Have to count them out each time. Come here, ring. Alrighty, so square one of the redo. Let's go ahead and move this group over. The only problem now is they're going to be kind of wanting to hook together. I'll have to kind of jingle them a little bit to untangle. Being open. I guess that's better than when they're stuck, you know, double stucks that are not open, where you have to physically either open it or grab both of them and twist them just right to get them to come back apart. So, well, I guess we'll get about a row less done tonight since that happened. Kind of just now starting again, so took us a half an hour to remove them. A little less, I guess, because I did put some in before I had to start the removal process. Sorry, that's going to probably irk me the rest of the night, going, duh. I don't remember, did I end early last Thursday? I might have. I know I had a lot of stuff going on last week with all the band stuff going on. I had a Tuesday night pictures, and then spent most of Wednesday working on pictures. I was still working on them into Thursday. So I did have a lot going on. That might have been what part of the problem was. Another problem, just me being stupid and not counting. But I do think we ended a little early so I could get stuff ready for Friday, because there was the first football marching band game of the year. Again, with all the other pictures I was doing, so it was definitely all me, though. Just forgetting my counts. Well, like I said, it's just kind of the day it's been. It's just been, hadn't been a bad day, just a weird day. Odd little things like that. I actually had my 3D printer. I had to go through and re-level it all again for some weird reason. I shouldn't have to, because it's been on and hadn't changed any of the settings, but all of a sudden it just wouldn't level out right, and the prints weren't starting properly. So I had to re-level that, which on my smaller one, it's not a big problem. On my normal 3D printer, this one's a XY printer, so it goes, the bed on it goes up and down to do your x-axis. My other one is a normal printer where your x-axis stays the same, and it's your one moves up. And that one I never really had a problem with. It's a much easier to get all lined up and evened out compared to the core XY machine. And so that's why once it's going, though, it normally does pretty good. It doesn't go out of it until I shut it down, and when I restart back up, I normally have to recalibrate everything on it compared to the other one where I don't have to. But it gave me issues today. I had to do it twice. Once in the morning, and then once again this afternoon. In between prints, like I said, I got done with the print, took them off, started the next one up. For some reason, just wasn't lined up properly, so. Cat getting out. What else was? I know there was a couple other things that went weird today. Just been a weird day. Not bad, but just weird. Almost ready for it to be over. Ready for the weekend in a way. I know I'll still be busy, but well, and then it is. I know some days I'll have about 3.5, 4 hours that I'll be unavailable. Starting now, since the Chiefs start back up their football season. You know, I used to be a total fan of, I mean, I'm still a fan of football, but I used to watch every game possible. Sunday, Thursdays. I think there's actually a game on night. Don't plan on watching it, but I still watch my Chiefs, but I pretty much, you know, don't watch a whole lot of the other games anymore like I used to. Just been to do it, you know, instead of spending, you know, what would it be, 3, 6, 9 hours of watching football on Sundays. I'll get 3 in, or whenever the Chiefs play. And then other than that, it's back to doing some mailing. Website work. I'll have the occasional, you know, I'll do some PS5 or PS4 playing of my racing game a little bit here and there. Not as much now as I used to also, but and then every once in a while I'll play some of those stupid block type games online, just the mind-numbing games that really don't take much mind. Just, you know, play them real quick just to let the brain fade and not have to think about that. Like with matching 3 type things and what do they call those, tower defense type things, set up some towers and blow up stuff as they come across. I'll play some of those on occasion just to break my brain. Give my brain a break. Whatever, break my brain. I guess they break your brain too, right? Oh. But it has been quite a week again. It's like every week you think things are going to start mellowing out. Always something, always something. Now I guess it's laundry night too. After I get done, I'll have to get some laundry going. Get some of the household stuff caught up. Normally do it Wednesdays and Thursdays later in the evening to get caught up, because normally, well, with football season now coming up and stuff, I'm going to have some Sundays a little preoccupied. Got Friday nights with bands, football games, and I'll start having some Saturdays for parades and competitions. My October and end of September will start to get really crazy. Been trying to still find some other events to plug in there, but some of them are just, we've done a few, but right now they're just so less amount of people out there going to these events that it kind of brings a drawback on to doing them, just because, you know, when you're paying so much to get into some of these events, you need to have a good weekend to, you know, cover. You don't want to go into an event and have losses, because that makes it harder later on to get into more events, just because if you keep doing events and you have losses, it's hard to keep the business going that way. So I mean, we normally at least break even. I've never really had a loss weekend per se. We at least have always broken even, and most times we do better than even. So I mean, even weekends do kind of suck in a way too, but I don't think we've actually ever had a loss weekend. But those are the ones I'm always worried about, especially with, like I said, with some of these more expensive events to get into. It's like, boy, you want me to spend that much on it? I've got, you know, I see that, it's like, well, I got to have this kind of sales, and then I start looking at what's your average people count. You know, how many people are normally at this kind of event? You know, if there's a good pickup between, you know, some that I've done and stuff between them, and I'll be like, well, it's probably going to be worth it. You know, this event, well, there's only going to be 10,000, it costs X amount to get into. This one's going to have 50,000, it costs more to get into. Percentage difference, and it's like, well, most of the time it looks good where I'd be okay, but, you know, I do most of my events, well, all of my events. I've actually never done a Renfest or Renaissance Festival type thing yet. Those just get really expensive to get into. At least the ones around here, because ours that runs here is a 6-week thing. You can do weekends and stuff and get in certain areas, but just a weekend is still pretty expensive. So it's like, I'm sure I'd do fine, but it's still one of those things where you're just looking at it going, oh. Granted, you know, the turnaround, the people there are going to be a lot more, and it is kind of the clientele per se, because they are into the chainmail, but I kind of like doing the other events where people aren't used to seeing chainmail. They don't go to a Renaissance Festival, so they see this and they're like, wow, that's amazing, you know. Not all the time do you make sales to them, but they're still impressed with the work, so that's kind of nice. Quick check around. That's got to be wrong there. Okay. Why? Okay, I gotta go all the way over there to find my concurrent. I thought it said I had 9 viewers on YouTube. I was like, that's impossible. But my screen had shifted and it was not showing me. It was showing me the 9 of a time limit that I've been in there, I guess. Not my actual concurrent viewer count. It was like, well, that'd be nice if I had 9 watching in there. That'd be the most ever for any of them. I think the most I ever had on Facebook was 8. Yeah, I think I might have had 9 at one time. But like I've always said, you know, it's just good to have people. You don't have to always be here, and I don't need everybody to show up every time I'm doing a stream. It's just whatever y'all can do, and you know, if you like it. I mean, if you don't like it, I don't want you to show up, but if you want to come in, hang out, chat about, that's kind of why I do it. Another reason is it just gets me to working on chainmail. Makes me have that hour and a half, 3 nights a week that pretty much guarantee me some time, even though I definitely get in a lot more than that every week. But the orders that I get and everything, and again, thanks everybody for, if you're somebody that's watching and you've made orders from us in the past, I thank you all, especially here over the past couple months. We picked up on our orders and had a lot more interest in things, so I do thank everybody for that. Keeps me busier, but you know, that's good. The more I can do, the more other I can start adding to everything. As I normally turn around, if I can start making good sales, I just put it back into the business, get more stuff, more equipment, just more. Try to come up with more things. Now it does give me less time to kind of R&D and play around with rings at times, but right now with trying to get the updated website and all the band stuff is kind of pulled away from even R&D time itself too, so. But I'm ready to sit down and just start playing with some rings again. Might end up making a bunch for the junk mailbox. Well, it's not really junk. I guess I have my junk mailbox. That's where, with rings and stuff that are scuffed, scratches and stuff like that. I plan on eventually making a junk mail shirt. That's just rings that I wouldn't put in a normal piece to sell because they're either scratched or not colored right or some odd reason. That's what I call my junk mailbox. And I have another one, I guess that would be a prototype box, kind of. It's a box of stuff that I've worked on. And instead of pulling them apart, I just put them in that box. Because I have come back to that at times, pulled that box out, played around with it. A piece that wasn't working for some reason or another at that time, I'll pull it back out and I'll start just tweaking on it and adding things to it to see if I can get it to work. Some are too tight and won't work, but I do use those for testing purposes too, to see if you know, if I'm working on another piece, it's like I need something more structural. Well, I had these few pieces that I made that were too tight and weren't going to work for what I was making them for at the time. Let me see, you know, I'll pull them out, see, would it look good? Would this kind of work? If it looks like it might, then I'll go ahead and pull out the proper rings I need to do it for that piece I'm working on. Other times when I've made things that are just too big, the AR's off on them, and they're not going to work for that certain weave. But you can come back to it, add things to them to tighten them up, change them up a little bit that way, and then I've had a few pieces end up starting to work that way. It's kind of a take on another weave. It was supposed to be one weave, but I didn't have the proper ring, so I'm just trying different ring sizes to see if I can get one of them to work. It's too loose and whatnot, so I'll take that same weave and I'll just start adding to it. Maybe mix in a half of another type of weave or something, and it starts tightening it up, and it still looks good. Sometimes it doesn't, though. I mean, that's part of R&D. I mean, you just never know. Some things will work good, other things sometimes just, no matter what you try, it just never looks the way you want. But if it at least holds its shape and stuff like that, like I said, I've sold some things that I personally did not care for, but other people liked them, so it's like, it ended up working, but it's a mixture of two weaves, kind of. Don't really know if somebody's actually done it before or not, because those I hadn't really looked up. Other times I'll look up stuff to see if somebody's done that style of weave, something similar. But, I'll still sell them if they work and they hold their shapes. I just don't personally like the look of it, but other people do. That's with everything, there's some weaves just here in the house that I'll do that I absolutely love, wife absolutely hates. Then there's vice versa. There's some that she hates that I enjoy. Sometimes weaves, though, that I don't necessarily like the look of myself, I found that I like actually weaving that weave. It's like, I don't like the look of it, but I do have fun putting it together. Why? I'm not sure. Alright, I need to get that up out of the way. And that one out of the way. I need to come up through that one. Correct? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull these two off. I'm afraid I'm going to end up getting in there and sweeping them up in the ring. And here's the other one. I'll put them back in here in just a second. I was hoping I'd be able to weave around it. I can weave before the other two, but I was just afraid I was going to grab the wrong one for that one. Because we need to come up and grab that. Alright. So I guess we are now finally back to where we were when we started the stream tonight. Well, I guess a little bit further, because we started up somewhere up in here, so in a way I guess a bit further, but I'll only grab two with that, see? Dummy. Where's my closure? It's 3-in-1, not 2-in-1. Which translates to 4-in-1 and 6-in-1, which is what we're doing, a 6-in-1 weave. Oh, stretch the back. Alright. We're finally back to normalcy. As long as I can keep track of counting properly the rest of this time, we'll be alright. 3, 6, 9, 1, not 2. Oh, 50 minutes in. And back to normal. I guess not too bad. Remove all those and put them all back in. In a way, would have been nice. If not, we would have already had another row done. Back over here. What screen are we on now? On the side screen there. But I'll be kind of glad to get this done. This is definitely the longest chessboard it's taken me in days wise. Not actual weaving wise time. Because it'll take the same as the others when it comes down to the actual final total time taken to do it. but just the amount of days I spread it out over is definitely going to be the longest. But at the time when I did my other ones too, that's all I was working on at the time. Other than when it was orders, and now with doing the streams, I'm always doing something a little different, 3 days a week, so I kind of have to move certain things to the side. Back when I did the other ones, it was just out, ready to go whenever I was ready to weave. Didn't have to worry about moving it out of the way for anything, so a little bit different nowadays, but I don't mind it. Like I said, I was hesitant about doing streams at first. I was like, I don't know how to do them, never done them. What am I going to talk about for hours? And I will admit, I probably talk about the same thing over and over at times. If you're here to watch all my streams back to back, sometimes those just don't work though, doing that. There's some shows that I have a hard time. When you can stream all the episodes of some shows, I find myself not liking the show as much. Because sometimes it's just too much. I like to mix it up a little bit, so. And I probably can see why it kind of gets repetitive kind of in a way when it's the same thing over and over again. And that's why I try to do the different nights to kind of make it so it's not the same. When I did first start streaming, it was kind of the same because I was doing the Chiefs flag. Now I gotta get this thing moved. I got a message. Go away, message. I will look at you afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, and I was streaming, 5 to 6 to 7 days a week when I was doing the flag, but it was an order, so it was something that I was working on to finish. So I wanted to get it done as quick as I can. I could have gotten it done quicker if I wasn't doing the stream. Like I always say too, that during doing a stream, all my weaving is a little bit slower just because I'm a little further away. I'm checking cameras and all that, compared to when I'm just not streaming. I can be closer and I'm just working without having to worry about, is the camera angle right? Is the stream going well? Are there anybody commenting that I need to check out, type thing. But if you ever make an order of something, even if it's just a simple bracelet and or keychain, and you want to see it streamed as I build it for you, it will take a little longer depending on when you order and what day things fall on. If it was something smaller, I'd probably wait to save it for a Wednesday night. So, it could take a while, but that's up to you. When you order, just let me know. Hey, you want to make that on a stream? I'll be happy to accommodate if I can, like I said before also. As long as it's not a weave that is... I sell some of my stuff that are somebody else has created. You buy their tutorial on how to build it, and they allow you to sell it that way, but I wouldn't want to put that on a stream. Now, granted, most of the time when it comes to those, I figure them out on my own, then I buy the tutorial to see how close I was to how it was supposed to be built. It just helps me learn whenever I just kind of try to figure it out on my own. But those type things I wouldn't want to put on the stream, unless I guess I could ask the original, person that created that, hey, do you mind, I won't put out sizes or anything like that, but I'd like to, just kind of do what we're doing here. I'm not showing details. I'm not really, I've told you the ring sizes, but that would be something I wouldn't tell ring size to. If they're up to that, then I could, but otherwise, if it's kind of a standard or something that I've done, those I'd be willing to put on the stream. Alright, I'm getting all these messages pop up. I wish there was a way that you could make those not pop up on you, because they keep overshadowing my boxes when I get private messages. Alright, on to silvers. I'm going to try to go on the side here now. 2, 4, 6, 8. One more. Starting to lose some of my room as I'm getting taller and about covering up my center of paper here anymore. Pick up. Pick up aisle me. Pick up aisle me. Go check over here. That's another night of 0 drop percents in my drop frame rate. Wow. Like I said, that it's never happened up until, was it yesterday, I think is when I seen it again. Whole stream got done and I was at 0% drop frame rate. I'm like, that just never happens. Ever since I've been streaming, I haven't been streaming forever, but I've never actually had that happen till last night. Might have been Monday, but I think it was last night. Oh, some days when my days get all jumbled together when I'm so busy doing stuff I forget. What day is it now? I don't remember. Well, I guess we need to bring out Duck and Nana. He didn't come out yesterday. I normally try to bring him out on Wednesdays, but I forgot to bring him out. I think I bring him out Monday though, so what camera are we on? We're on a side camera view? No, we're on the front camera view. I think his head will show up right there. We'll see how it looks. See when he pops into camera view. Since I got a delay. There he is. And we'll leave Duck and Nana there for him a little bit. Give him some airtime. He hadn't had much airtime here lately. I still want to make him a headpiece. I just, a little goof around thing, but I just need to take a few. It's going to be a fairly small headpiece for him, so it wouldn't take very long. But I do plan on using some pretty small rings to do it, so I think it'll be my night of the bananas. The Duck and Nanas. Maybe I should make him a rectangle table. I don't want to make a round table. It's got to be odd. We'll make a rectangle side table. There we go. A rectangle side table for the Duck and Nana. Well, that's kind of hard to say. Come on. There you go. On to the next. Oh, there's a lot there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I did have to pull out some more rings before we started tonight. I meant to pull them out at the end of last week and then totally forgot. But we're getting through quite a bit of them. I know I'm going to have some extras of all these that I've done, but I'll eventually use them in something else. I'll re-clean up some of these. Oh, that's a half-cut one. Need me an extra. I'll have to give them a little clean up again to put them into another piece like I do my copper pieces. Copper, stainless steel. I might try some bronze and stainless steel. I've only got this size in bronze right now. I've got quite a few different sizes in copper. But my bronze, I've only got this size, and I've got a little bit left to coil. I'm probably going to coil those up in probably the 7/32 size. Is what I'm thinking I was going to do, because I kind of have a plan. At least that's what I wrote down, but I didn't write down what weave I wanted to use it for. So I have to go through and remember what weave I wanted to do, why I wanted to coil them up in that size. Normally I try to, but where are we at here? Over an hour? Almost an hour, so we'll see where we're at the end of this row. This will be 2. Well, we should have been at 3 by now, but we'll see where we are at the end here and decide if I want to try to go some more before we end the stream tonight, or we call her done at that point in time. Not quite sure yet. Like I say, I always want to get minimum of an hour in, if I can find enough stuff to talk about. There have been a few occasions where I had to end early just because of, one day I wasn't feeling well, come down to not eating that day. And a couple other times just because I had some other things I need to get caught up on, orders and well, the band stuff that one night. So try to minimum go an hour, maximum hour and a half. Sometimes we've gone a little over an hour and a half. Like I said, it all depends on where I'm at in that project we're working on during the stream. Because I do like to try to end at a ending point, kind of, per se. I hate to do it in the middle of a line unless it's absolutely necessary, going over or something like that. And then if I was to do another line, would it take too long and I'd be going over? And that's when I've gone over sometimes because I decided to do a little more than I wanted to. And I think that kind of happened Monday. We actually ended up running right on time. I was going to end early because we got to a point that I thought was a good end time. But before I actually shut down, I was looking at it going, well, I could spend 10 minutes trying to tighten everything up that I was wanting to tighten up instead of doing it, you know, the next week or during the week when I wasn't streaming. I was like, we'll just go ahead and do it there, so we extended the time a little bit. Like I said, it all just kind of depends on where it ends up running down into. Well, we changed camera view, so Duck Nanica can go to the side now. I guess you could still see him in the little picture over there. I'm going to do my little normal spiel too, saying thank you to everybody. Make sure you get us out there and share us, and we're looking for that one more follower so we can do some giveaways. And then hopefully we'll have some people show up during the stream so we can do the giveaways. Like I said, it's going to be a stream-driven giveaway. That you'll have to be here for the stream to win. So I'm hoping that'll draw in a few people, even if it's just because of the giveaway. That's all fine too. I just kind of want to give it a little something, reward people, and hopefully I can get some of the... I know I used to have some followers when I first started that, you know, some of my first followers don't post as much as they used to then. But hopefully, you know, they'll still catch these posts that I make, and we'll see that we're going to do a streaming giveaway and show back up. That'd be great. And it will be available to anybody. Even though I'm looking for the followers on Facebook, the giveaways will be open to anybody that shows up between all three of the streams, between Facebook, YouTube, and or Twitch. Any one of those you can come to and watch to be in the chance for the giveaways. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just because I've got quite a bit, you know, the YouTube was and the Twitch have been a recent addition. From streaming standpoint, I've been streaming the same amount, but my Facebook page, I've had this for about 7 years now, since I started the business and the Facebook pages for the business. So it's had more time to slowly generate people, which isn't a whole lot for 7 years. But you know, there have been times where I really wasn't posting and stuff, and it irritated me some just because, you know, I didn't want to keep posting the same pictures over and over and over and over again. Okay, yeah, I've done more of this. I got an order for this weave, but it's the same one that I've already showed you a couple times. Do I want to take another picture of it and show you again? So then there's times where I'd go for several months where it looked like I really wasn't busy. It was like I'm doing all kinds of stuff, I'm just not posting them. So the stream, in a way, has motivated me more to have more posts on there. I'm trying to, you know, and all these new weaves that I've been doing on Wednesday night gives me more things to post. So overall, the stream has helped in several aspects of things to make sure people know that I'm still active. If I'm not posting, it's just normally because I'm busy doing things, or it's some of the same things I've done before. But again, that's why the stream has come in handy, because it's making me do other things I haven't done. It's making me work on some more inlays that gives me more tiny things to stream. So it all works out good. I just hope you all have fun watching it and coming in and saying hey. That's kind of what I was doing before I started doing my stream. There were several other chainmailers that I used to watch. They've been streaming a lot less lately. I know they've got other things going on. Like I said, summertime always changes things. So hoping they can come back here more in the winter. But mail works with Sean over there. I like going and watching his when he was working on the other than it being the Raiders flag he was doing. But it was still chainmail, so I had to love it. So I watched it, hang out, chatted. Bracken Mail, he was doing some streams for a while. He's gotten a lot less here lately. He was having internet issues there for a while too. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he's been having more events. He's been doing, so I can see, you know, you work an event for a weekend, you want to take a few days off, kind of, from, I mean, yeah, I'm sure, just like all those other mailers, he's still working when he comes back from events, but to do a stream, there is a little bit involved in to do. I was kind of talking about that last night, you know, I might only stream for an hour to an hour and a half on these nights, but by the time it's all said and done, with setup, getting things ready, tear down when you're done so you can go back to doing what you were doing in that space, it becomes, you know, a 3.5 hour job per day just to do a stream. So it can take a bit of time and takes away from other things in your day per se. I mean, just even afterwards, you know, the first thing I do normally after a stream is I kind of kick back for about 15-20 minutes just to let my voice rest, my hands rest. Then I'm not necessarily right back to the mailing, because then it's feed the cats, get the caddis shot. After I do that, especially on Wednesday nights when I get done with that, it's kitchen cleanup time, so I'll go clean up the kitchen, get the dishwasher going, all that. Then I'll come back and actually work on another bracelet that we did, or whatever I was working on during the stream. I normally make 2, 3, 4 of those same bracelets in different colors, different sizes, just to have a variation of them. And so that's what I'll end up normally doing on a Wednesday night afterwards. I want to on Thursday nights where I could do some more of this, but normally I want to kind of get this cleaned up more, because Fridays, like I said, during the day, if I don't have any orders on a Friday for chainmail, that's when I hold off and do my laser etching orders. If I get orders during the week for laser etching, I'll save those for a Friday, Tuesday or Friday. During the day, I'll get laser etching stuff done, and sometimes it's just me working with the laser etcher, trying new things. Depending on which laser I'm working with. I got a CO2 laser and a couple diode lasers, so I'm trying different things and stuff for those. Always just trying a little something different all the time. I want to, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Always trying something new, something different. I want to kind of be, you know, following the crowd per se. You know, with the laser, a lot of people make money by just cutting out shapes of lasers and sell groups of circles and shapes of acrylics and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, I could make some money doing that, but I want to do something different, something, you know, I still do some of the LED lights like other people do and stuff, but you try to mix it up, try to just do something different. I'll try different things at different times. So I have to go look at my website. I've got a TARDIS light and a Harry Potter light that I did. Those are something you haven't seen anywhere else. I haven't seen anywhere else. Actually, the first TARDIS I made, the wife brought home this lamp that she got at the store and was like, "This is for our oldest, Olivia's birthday. Make it into a TARDIS." I was like, okay. And I think we had that lamp for about a year and a half before I finally figured out how to make it into a TARDIS. And it came out really, really well, so I made another one. They're not easy to make. They take some time. I mean, the laser does its job, but the design of it, making sure you get good clean cuts where you can get everything glued up, it took a while because it wasn't like there was just a file out there I could say, hey, print this or etch this. You know, I had to make it specific sizes to fit what I had. And then after I got done, it was like, oh, I could do, it's 4-sided, let me do a Harry Potter one. I can do 4 colors. It came out really well too. Through plenty of lampshades in our years on this earth. Breaking by accident, knocking over, blah blah blah. You may have a chainmail one, that's pretty much going to be with you the rest of your life. If it's built well, you know, it could take a licking per se. And if something happens to it, it's not like a normal lampshade. You get a hole in it, it's kind of toast unless you want to pull it apart and recloth it up or blah blah blah. When it comes to chainmail, it take a lot to break it to begin with, but it's always fixable. There's actually I have my tall red one that uses the washer style. It's a foreign one, but it uses a chromed washer style punch and rings. It's been knocked over a few times because some of the events we go into, people bring their dogs and the dogs go running around it and get it wrapped around the pole, because it's a floor standing lamp. It stands about 4 foot tall. And it's been knocked over a couple times, and I've never had to fix it, and it's never gotten messed up. I mean, it knocks over and you're like, oh no. That's your first thought, and then you go looking at it, you check it over, everything's still where it's supposed to be, it didn't get scratched up. It's like, yeah, you know, if that would have been a normal lampshade, it would have been toast each one of those times. So it's kind of nice when something like that happens, and you know it holds up. Because I thought for sure it was going to end up, you know, if it was scratched up, I was going to have to replace some of the rings, which is still nice though. You know, if it just had a few screw ups in it, and you can just go replace those screw ups, and you know, it might take you half an hour, maybe less, depending on how much needs to be done to it. But that's what was nice about it. If I had to, but it held up, and I didn't have to. It was the first time it happened. I thought, well, I now own my own lamp because it's going to be all scratched up and taking a while to fix. It was perfectly fine. So it's like, huh. And that's my party lamp is what I call it, because I put in a LED spinning light in it that shoots out red and green and blue colored lights, and it looks really good in the tent at an event, at a night event, because you just get that disco kind of effect of it spinning around on the top of the tent, outside the tent hitting other things, and people are like, hey, what's that? You know. So let's see, we're an hour and 12. I don't want to really get too much further into it, so we'll probably go ahead and close up for the night. Let me kind of give this, like I said, this has a little bit of a stretch to it, but not a whole lot, so that's what's kind of nice about it. And actually, while we're waiting here, if I can find them. Oh man, I thought they were right there. I was going to pull out my pieces for it. They're sitting there. I don't remember moving them. Well, I'll have to make sure I grab them and have them ready for next Thursday. Pull out my pieces that I plan on using. They're just weighted, heavy weighted chest pieces, normal. They're silver and bronze colored. That's why I decided to do the board this way. Eventually I'm going to build my own chainmail pieces for it, but I'm just going to use those for now. I'll pull those out next week. But we're going to go ahead and close up tonight, so I want to thank everybody again if you showed up during us live, or if you come in and watch the video later. That's all good. Either way, it's all good. Don't forget to like and share us. We got that one more like we're trying to get to, one more follow on Facebook to do giveaways. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can go check out my website. A lot of chain millers, they do Etsy's and stuff like that, which is all fine. I have no problem with those. But I run my own website, boogamail.com. You'll find it on our Facebook page, links to it and everything. So I just run my own website with my own stuff over there. So you can go there and check us out, see some of the pictures. Go look through our pictures on the Facebook page. We've got pictures over the last 7 years showing all kinds of different things. It's still not everything I've done is even on there. And I hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday night for our medium project night. We will actually be working on our star. Pull it down. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, with that background of this. But we're going to hopefully be finishing up the star on Monday, getting pretty close to it. If not, it'll be 2 more Mondays. But we will be back on after the weekend on Monday. And I hope you all have a great weekend. We will catch you then. So, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you later.